All right, let's dive straight into Futurecast. Let's nail down some timing of the next rounds of rain, potentially a couple of thunderstorms, which for a few folks could happen actually overnight tonight. Here's Futurecast. I've paused it around 11 o'clock, maybe a spotty shower or two. That would primarily just be shower activity. You go a little bit further and maybe we see a couple of cells trying to pop. Those would be very isolated in nature. Generally, we're talking south of Interstate 40, LaFleur, Scott, perhaps even Logan County, maybe the better odds for seeing some of those. This is around 3 o'clock in the morning. Looks like a couple of these are certainly going to pull us up and become strong to severe. Latest indications are those just off to the east of us here locally. Let's hope that's true. Just to be on the safe side, we'll keep the team here. So if a warning is issued overnight, you can find us, of course, right here and over on 5+ as well. A lot of that pushes into central Arkansas, so it's not too much of a concern for us. Overall, the odds are pretty low. This is a level 1 here in green, level 2 for the folks there in yellow. Let's talk about tomorrow. 2 potential rounds of storms, both of which are going to be very isolated to scattered, meaning there's a good chance you don't see anything at all tomorrow. Some certainly will. This is going to be about 10:30 in the morning. A lot of us are dry, partly cloudy skies. We'll watch for a batch of showers and thunderstorms that primarily impact portions, not all, but portions of northwest Arkansas. These very well could produce some hail, some winds, and some brief heavy rainfall. That exits off into Missouri pretty quickly, probably before the lunch hour. Models have been pretty consistently bringing most of that primarily into Benton and Carroll County. Wouldn't be surprised if some of it doesn't push a little bit further south into Washington and Madison. We'll watch it either way. We get into the afternoon hours. We see some sunshine. Atmosphere is becoming increasingly unstable. Lots of storm fuel out there. I'll show you that here in a bit. This is 6 o'clock. You notice these storms really go from 0 to 60 really quickly. That is the model thinking that the cap, this invisible layer of warm air aloft up in the upper levels of the atmosphere, is going to break, which would allow these thunderstorms to pulse up and become severe almost instantly. The latest indications are those also just off to our south and east, but for me, a little too close for comfort. So if you have outdoor activities tomorrow evening, especially south and east of Fort Smith, you might just be mindful of that potential. Certainly the later in the evening, this is 8:30, those are growing. They're continuing to become more numerous in coverage, but that's still just primarily impacting central and eastern Arkansas. Not much of a concern for us. Overall, your Friday severe weather risk looks like this. Level 2 for a lot of us. That doesn't guarantee anyone rain. As you just saw, I think a lot of us are probably going to end up being dry. But where those showers and storms do develop, they're going to likely be severe. It's a true boom or bust situation, hit or miss. Some folks it'll hit, some people it's probably going to miss. When it comes to hazards tomorrow, hail and wind are our most likely concerns. Tornado risk is low. It's not zero, wish it was, but it's low. Flooding also relatively low. Here's the storm fuel. You're going to notice it really resurges back towards the north as our front lifts back as a warm front. These colors here represent a large amount of storm fuel, which is really on the higher end of the scale. But if that cap holds, none of this matters. If that cap breaks, then of course we've got enough of fuel available for those thunderstorms to tap into. They grow into big, large thunderstorms. Those are the ones you'll have to watch. Let's talk about your weekend. This is Saturday, level 2 for a lot of us. I think most of the day Saturday is going to be just fine. It's going to be later in the late afternoon for East Oklahoma, probably evening for many folks in West Arkansas. This is 7 o'clock. This is just one computer model. I think it's a decent idea of what could happen. It's not necessarily the gospel. I would expect some changes. Those showers and storms continuing to lift into the area. So while there's a chance of rain and storms on Saturday, it's not going to be all day. So I think we'll have plenty of time to get out and about and do some stuff. Sunday, a little bit better chances of rain. More rain than storms on Sunday. We'll really have to watch Monday and Tuesday of next week. And the reason why, that's when the actual trough of low pressure, the big guy, the big system in the atmosphere that's responsible for all of this activity, it finally swings on through. There's still some discrepancy with regards to, is it going to be Monday? Is it Monday night? Is it Tuesday? That's normal discrepancy at this range. I suspect we'll have more clarity as early as tomorrow. Either way, that's when there's going to be more overlap and more ingredients available for severe weather. So I don't want to neglect the fact that we've got chances tomorrow, Saturday. We'll track those really closely, but it's, of course, early next week that I think we have a little bit better odds. Behind that system, look at that. Some nice, enjoyable, sunny, comfortable weather. Really looking forward to the second half.
You might be wondering, what is a cap?
What is a cap? A lot of folks wonder. We track it really closely during severe weather season. It's this invisible layer of air in the atmosphere, and you're still thinking, okay, I can't grasp it. Why does it matter? Here's the thing. I'm going to tighten this up. We'll
Make sure that's...
If you miss this at 6 o'clock.
Yes.
So this is going to be our atmosphere tomorrow.
It's
primed. It's
boiling, bubbling.
It's boiling.
Yes.
It's volatile.
Right.
But there's a cap, and it's holding, which is the only reason you're dry right now. But Darren,
because that's aiming right at me,
Darren,
by
the
way.
science experiment here is what happens if that cap busts.
It would...
We have thunderstorms.
Right.
We want that cap to hold.
Oh, yeah. Well, I do now.
We'll be
sure.
watching really closely. Yeah.
You can take that over
I gotta,
there at some
I
point.
got to drink. I need some caffeine for tonight.
That's right, yes.